It was Valentine's Day, the year 2000, and 9-year-old Asha Degree vanished into the night. She packed her book bag, slipped out of her family's home, and walked alone into a storm, without a jacket, without a goodbye. Motorists spotted her walking, soaked in rain, but when one turned around to help, Asha ran off the road and into the woods. She was never seen again. Over a year later, her backpack was discovered, buried, at a construction site miles away. No one knows why she left. Was she running from something or walking towards someone? The mystery still haunts North Carolina to this day. Let's take a deep dive into the case of Asha Degree. Asha Degree was born in 1990 to Harold and Equilla Degree, a hard-working couple who married on Valentine's Day and raised their 2 children, Asha and her older brother O'Brien, in a modest home in Shelby, North Carolina. Their life was quiet, centered around school, church, and family. The Degrees were protective and intentional, no internet, no outside distractions, and a close eye on their kids. Asha was described as shy, obedient, and deeply cautious. She was even scared of dogs. Her parents never imagined she would leave the house on her own, let alone disappear without a trace. On Saturday, February 12, 2000, Asha fouled out of her youth basketball game, the first loss of the season. She was visibly upset, but by all accounts moved on quickly. The next day she went to church, came home, and went to bed around 8 p.m. Around 12:30 a.m., a power outage that began earlier in the night came back on. Asha's father checked on the children. Both were asleep. He looked again at 2:30 a.m., still there. But something changed. Sometime after 2:30 a.m., Asha quietly got out of bed. She had already packed a book bag, clothing, personal items, and her favorite pair of jeans. She slipped into the stormy night with no coat, and no explanation. Between 3:45 and 4:15 a.m., motorists spotted her walking down Highway 18. A trucker and another driver saw her in a white shirt and white pants, walking alone through wind and rain. When one turned around to help, she ran off the road and vanished into the woods. At 5:45 a.m., Equilla Degree got up to wake the kids for school. Asha was gone. After checking the house, the cars, and calling nearby family, panic set in. At 6:40 a.m., police arrived. Search teams scoured the area. Bloodhounds couldn't pick up her scent. By sunrise, the neighborhood was awake and searching. A mitten was found, but it didn't belong to Asha. The next day, they found candy wrappers, a pencil, a marker, and a yellow hair bow in a nearby shed. Asha's parents confirmed they were hers. And one more thing was found, a photo of a young black girl who has never been identified. Asha's favorite clothes were missing, including the jeans with a red stripe. After a week, the search had covered several miles and logged over 9,000 hours. Police had no solid leads. Flyers were posted, tips trickled in. But nothing led to Asha. She was gone, seemingly into thin air. and no one could explain why. Local news coverage of Asha's disappearance began to spread.
We continue our coverage of the Asha Degree case. You remember she was just 9 years old when she went missing.
By February 22nd, law enforcement moved the investigation into long-term mode. The FBI and State Bureau of Investigation were called in. Despite no clear signs of distress at home, authorities began to believe Asha may have run away. But why? Asha was just 9 years old, much younger than the average runaway. She came from a stable home and was doing well in school. FBI and child experts remained baffled. Had she planned her escape, or was she lured away? The case gained national attention. The Degree family appeared on the Montel Williams Show, America's Most Wanted, and even the Oprah Winfrey Show. In March, a large billboard was erected along Highway 18, featuring Asha's image and missing person details. In May 2001, NASCAR driver Travis Kittleson placed Asha's face on the hood of his car during a televised race, using his platform to help bring her home. Then, a breakthrough, or so it seemed. In August 2001, a construction crew working off Highway 18 in Burke County, nearly 26 miles north of Shelby, unearthed Asha's book bag. It was wrapped in 2 black plastic trash bags. Inside was a copy of McElligot's Pool by Dr. Seuss from her school library, and a T-shirt featuring the band New Kids on the Block, items her parents didn't recognize. The FBI took the evidence to Quantico for forensic testing, but no results were ever made public. And then, silence. For years, the trail went cold. In 2004, a tip from a local inmate led investigators to dig in Lawndale, but the bones found there were animal remains. In 2005, Asha's age-progressed photo appeared on 28 work vehicles from 2 local companies, another effort to reignite interest in the case. Through it all, the Degree family never stopped fighting. In 2008, they created a scholarship in Asha's name. They organize an annual walk from their home to the very billboard where Asha was last seen. Once held on Valentine's Day, it was later moved to early February to avoid adding sorrow to the holiday. Photos of Asha, including age-progressed images, still line the walls of their home. Her mother, Ikila, says she still believes. "I fully expect her to walk through the door," she says. Despite decades of silence, the case of Asha Degree took a shocking turn in September of 2024. After 24 years of unanswered questions, investigators named new suspects, and possibly a motive. We already established that Asha was last seen walking alone along Highway 18 during a violent storm, and we now know that one witness reported seeing her being pulled into a vehicle. More than a year later, her book bag and personal belongings were found by construction workers, wrapped in black plastic bags and buried. The bags contained some items that didn't belong to her, and from those items, DNA was collected. That DNA would eventually lead investigators to a family long considered to be on the periphery of the case, the Dedmon family. In September 2024, multiple search warrants were served on properties connected to Roy and Connie Dedmon and their 3 daughters, Lizzie Dedmon Foster, Sarah Dedmon Capel, and Annalie Dedmon Ramirez. The DNA recovered from Asha's belongings reportedly matched one of the Dedmon daughters. Investigators also tied a man named Roy Underhill, who once lived at various Dedmon properties, to the case. Underhill has since passed away. But the most chilling detail came next. According to newly unsealed documents, a man told police that in the mid-2000s, he attended parties with Lizzie Foster and her sister Sarah. One night, Foster allegedly broke down sobbing and said, "I killed Asha Degree." Sarah Capel, according to the witness, overheard the statement and snapped, telling her sister to shut up. The man later passed a polygraph test. When investigators asked Lizzie Foster to take one, she refused. When she did finally take one, it was reported that the results came back as her being deceptive. The car seen by a witness the night Asha vanished, believed to be the one she was pulled into, was found to be registered to Roy Lee Dedmon. One of his daughters claimed she was given that car at age 16. Search warrants for Foster's phone uncovered a trail of suspicious messages between the sisters. Annalie Ramirez warned Foster not to talk to anyone about the case and even messaged Capel suggesting that investigators believe Lizzie could be the killer, perhaps by accident, with their parents helping to cover it up. Foster herself texted her ex-husband saying, "I caused this." Despite these developments, no one has been charged. Asha's body has never been found. But the question now haunts a small North Carolina town. Did the Dedmon family help conceal a child's murder? And if so, why are they still getting away with it? If you have any information about Asha's case, please contact the FBI or the Degree family. Until justice is served, her case remains a twisted tale of the unknown. Please tell us what you think happened in the comments below. Can Asha's case still be solved? And for more deep dives into unsolved disappearances, please like and subscribe to Twisted Tales. Stay vigilant, stay safe, and let's bring justice to the missing.